So you're looking for a side hustle, but you keep on trying the things that everybody else is trying. You're trying to start a Shopify. You're trying to do driving services. You're trying to do all these other things. And yeah, it might make money, but when are you going to have the time, freedom to really use this, right? Now, I'm not knocking anything you're trying to do. I've done ride sharing. I've done delivery. I've done carpet cleaning. I've done all these kinds of things. In my opinion, the best side hustle that you could ever try to do is buying online businesses. Now, let me explain to you why. So number one, when you buy an online business, you're buying a business that already has income, right? When I bought my first online business, I made money that first month without having to do anything but just take it from the owner to me and then change over. Basically, I changed over how the payments came. So instead of the payments going to him, they went to me. So that's reason number one, is because of income, right? From day one. Well, we'll just call it month one. Month one, you have income. And you can find these businesses fairly easily on marketplaces. As a matter of fact, you can just see a business and say, hey, I wanted to know if you wanted to buy this or sell this. And sometimes they'll say, yeah. So number two, equity, right? Most people, if you don't know what equity is what makes you, when people buy a house, right? And the house goes up in value, the difference between what they owe and what the house is worth is equity. And the good thing about equity in an online business is I control the equity by increasing my income from the business. So let's say that you buy a business that makes, just to keep it simple, let's say it makes $1,000 a month, right? Typically, not all are equal. Typically, depending on how much money that this is making, if it's making $1,000 a month, then you can get roughly 30 times the monthly payment or monthly income as a lump sum. So you have a business that is worth roughly 30K, right? So now, most people are saying, wow, I'd love to have an income of at least $1,000. Maybe it's not enough for you, right? Maybe that's world changing for you. I don't know. But I can guarantee you that you could find a business that makes $1,000 a month. You might find 10 businesses that make $100 a month and get them for less than $30,000. Hold on to it for a few months and then sell it for $30,000. It's very doable to just buy something, hold it, not even really have a lot of skill, and then sell it and make a profit, right? That's something that I go over actually on my course that I put together. If you're interested in learning more about the course, just check out the link below or michaelmalbrough.com at buybiz or michaelmalbrough.com/buybiz, michaelmalbrough.com/buybiz. But yeah, you can build equity in an online business, meaning you have essentially a savings account that's built into the income stream that you just purchased. Number three, and this is mostly, in my opinion, this is a very, very vital thing. You can find ways to buy deals with no money out of pocket, right? You can finance 100% of it. So if you were saying, hey, I want to get a business, but I really don't have very much money in my pocket, right? You could either say, okay, well, I'll just buy a really small business if you are not comfortable with taking out loans, right? And let's say you only have, let's say you have $5,000. A $5,000 business isn't going to be a huge business, but it's enough to where you'll be like, hey, I can pay for my internet and my cell phone, something like that. Or maybe even your car payment, just depending on the business, depending on your skills, where you're at currently. But you can buy businesses that have equity, that have income from day one with no money out of pocket. All right. And then here's, in my opinion, one of the greatest things about buying an online business. And I'll tell you a little bit about my experience, but it is the first and only opportunity I have ever had to have truly passive income. And when I say truly passive income, I don't mean like how real estate investors tell you you can build passive income. Because I've owned rentals before, and there's times where it feels passive, where you just get money coming in every month. Here's the issue. When you have real estate passive income, you have a tenant. That tenant is going to make or break the passiveness of that income. So even if you have a property manager, your tenant has a issue with the house, your property manager gets a call from the tenant. You get a call from your property manager, especially if you don't have certain things in place. Now, you can have it where your property manager deals with everything under a certain dollar amount. But the issue is now you've just lost a certain amount of time worth of passive income. With having an online business, if you buy it and hold it and sell it, you don't necessarily always, especially with the businesses that you don't really want anything but the passive income, right? I'm not saying that this is the best plan, but it is a way to do this. And I've done it myself. Just being honest, sometimes you buy a business and you're like, I really don't want to run the business. I just want to have the income. Okay, that's 100% your prerogative. If that's the case, you buy it, you change up all the payment information to where you're getting paid instead of the last owner. A couple months later, you sell it. No harm done, right? And when you sell it for what it's worth. Now, here's another very, very valuable thing to know about buying online businesses as opposed to investing in real estate or doing any other side hustles or anything like that. You have, in my opinion, minimal risk. All right? And when I say minimal risk, this is what I mean. If you're buying real estate, right? Or if you're flipping cars or what have you, you have real estate, just as an example. You have a $200,000 townhouse that you buy and you plan on flipping it. Well, what happens if the market crashes and you lose value in the house? What if you make it real nice, you get a renter in there, and you can't refinance? Right? These things happen, and not saying they happen all the time, but there's now a risk. I'll tell you about my first ever rental property. I had a rental property that, number one, I lived in it for about a year and a half or 2 years before I rented it out. And then once I rented it out, I made $150 a month. So $150 a month is nothing, number one. That's roughly $1,800 a year of extra money, right? I could have focused on my job and gotten that. On top of that, I have the debt from the house. I have the liability that comes with having tenants. I have the realistic liability of having to fix things. Now, let me tell you this. When I had that house that gave me $150 a month, I thought I had income coming in, passive income, for about 7 or 8 months. And then the toilet broke. So I had to buy a toilet and I had to hire a plumber. And next thing you know, I've spent I want to say it was probably somewhere around, let's say $800. I don't remember exactly how much. I spent $800. 800 divided by $150 a month. Let's see. 150. Okay. So I basically ate up about 2.5 months or excuse me, about 5 months worth of income from my real estate. I ate up about 5 months of my real estate profit on one toilet. Now, the crazy part is, 2 months later, I had to change the water heater. And so the water heater basically made it where by the end of the year, I broke even. So while real estate is a great business, I'm not telling you don't do real estate at all. What I'm saying is, if you're doing a side hustle, there's a much better way. If you're doing a Shopify store, if you're doing pretty much anything else, imagine starting something from scratch, knowing you have a 50% chance of failure. That's basically what you're doing when you start anything from scratch. So if you're going to do a side hustle and your goal is to make more money, in my opinion, the best way to do it is to buy an online business. If you're interested in learning more about how you can do it, check out the link below. Or if you just want to type it in, you can type in michaelmalbrough.com/buybiz. All right, y'all. That's enough for today. I'll see y'all next time.